Leslie, what are your thoughts on this announcement expected from Ted Cruz later on this afternoon? What's happening here?
I think he's trying to get back in the media cycle. There's no doubt about it. Certainly, we're hearing a lot of rumors that it would potentially be a VP nominee. It has to be something that big and substantial, unless he gets the governor's endorsement in Indiana. I think those are about the only two things on par. Yeah, that merit a conversation like this.
Jon, and some people are saying that it could be Carly Fiorina. What are your thoughts on that?
Look, I think Ted Cruz, as Leslie suggested, is trying to get a little bit of attention after Donald Trump won 5 states last night and got himself a lot closer to the Republican nomination. I think it would be very surprising if you saw a Cruz-Fiorina ticket for the Republican Party in November.
But even if that announcement is, for example, a potential vice presidential pick, and it is Carly Fiorina, it does seem, even with this Cruz-Kasich alliance, which from what I'm hearing, seems to be falling apart. I spoke to Mr. Trump last night, and he again went on about collusion and how he thinks it's desperate, how he thinks that they're trying to stop him. They don't have the votes, they don't have the delegates, and so they're trying to come up with different ways to stop him. And he feels very strongly, he told me yesterday, that they're trying to go against the will of the people. What do you think, Leslie?
To some extent, that's correct. I mean, if he was really looking at stopping him, why wouldn't he join forces and come to an agreement with Kasich that they both agree to and say, okay, we're going to, it's too early for that. He would have to, suspend his campaign. I think that it's a lot of far-reaching strategies. We're kind of getting to the bottom of the well in terms of like what we can find, and is there water down there that's going to continue to replenish these campaigns and carry them another month? It's getting a little dry.
We actually have a soundbite from Donald Trump talking about Carly Fiorina and if she might perhaps be on the ticket with Senator Cruz. Let's go ahead and play that, and Jon, I'll get your reaction.
Well, I think it hurts him. I don't think I can't imagine he does it. First of all, he shouldn't be naming anybody because he doesn't even have a chance, all right? He doesn't have a chance. He's millions of votes behind. He hurt himself horribly when he did the collusion deal with Kasich. Everyone's upset about it. Everyone's angry about it. But more importantly, he's millions of votes behind. He's hundreds of delegates behind. I mean, what is he, 400 or 500 delegates behind? He's got no path to victory, and he's naming a vice presidential candidate. I guess that's cute.
Yeah, what about that, Jon? I mean, clearly, mathematically right now, Senator Cruz, the only way he gets a nomination is through a contested convention. Is Mr. Trump right?
Yeah, he's certainly right to an extent that it's an odd decision on the day that you're mathematically eliminated from a race to name a vice presidential pick. I can only explain it as an effort to get all of us to cover him. To continue covering Ted Cruz and Jon Kasich the way that we have been before, because otherwise, I mean, look, I think we were on a knife's edge last night with people trying to determine whether they should call Donald Trump the presumptive nominee or not, and it is getting harder and harder and harder to see a realistic scenario by which Ted Cruz or Jon Kasich becomes the Republican nominee for president. It is possible Donald Trump will pull up short of 1,237 when the voting is said and done, but even then he'll have a chance to flip some pledged delegates into unpledged delegates into his column. I think it's a very, very, very small chance that anybody other than him will be the Republican nominee at this point.
And another thing to think about when you do think about, first you have a vetting process. There's so many things that go into deciding who would be a VP. We saw that with Sarah Palin. Let's just, let's just hold it, think about that for a moment. But all the things that can go right and wrong. But I would say that what does the person bring in terms of value? Carly Fiorina is she was an extraordinary candidate, extraordinary businesswoman, certainly has a place in a very strong, high-level place in the Republican Party. But they normally have to have a constituency that you're bringing, a swing state, something that matters, and she's not coming from
I just wonder if the mere fact that she's a woman is part of the strategy.
It could be that, and you could say California maybe, because you come from the tech sector and everybody's eyeing the 310, not just the area code in Los Angeles, but that's how many delegates you need, and you're running into California. So it could be a little of that, but that gets very nuanced.
Right.
Before we go, and I'm getting a rap signal in my ear, but because you brought up an interesting point about being a woman, Donald Trump doubling down again today on his criticism of Hillary Clinton, saying that if she were a man, she wouldn't even get 5% of the vote. I wonder if there might be some common ground that Republican women and Democratic women may find that turns them off to when you hear something like that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's repulsive all the way around. People don't want to hear any type of sexism like that, objectification, any of those things, all those things they tried to throw in those ads at Donald Trump early on. Is it going to resurface? I don't necessarily think so. He has to stop those blunders and be taken seriously, or he's just never going to win a national election.
All right, Leslie Sanchez and Jon Allen, thank you both so much for your analysis. Appreciate it.
Take care.